May 2024 was a super fun month for reading science fiction and fantasy. Here's what I tackled. Welcome to Fantasy for the Ages, the show where a father and son talk about fantasy, science fiction, and other nerdy things we enjoy. Today, just Jim here, the father of this show, bringing to you my reading adventures from the past month. If you enjoy what you see today, remember to hit that like button down below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Zach and I super appreciate all of you who have chosen to subscribe. First off, in May, what did I do? Let's just talk about the things I tackled by listening. My audiobook adventures. I finished the Poppy War trilogy by R.F. Kuang this last month. Now, I read the first book, The Poppy War, back in April. But here in May, I finished book 2, The Dragon Republic, and book 3, The Burning God. Amazing! These were both 5-star reads for me. And then Zach and I did a full spoil episode on the entire trilogy, which you can find elsewhere on our channel. He'd read them before. I had them on my list. Now that I had them done, we could actually talk about what these books are like. So good. After the Poppy War was done, I went outside my usual purview and tried something that was popular in 2023, one of the biggest books of last year by Justin Cronin, The Ferryman. Another 5-star read for me. This was a fantastic sci-fi suspense thriller. I didn't entirely know what I was getting into when I jumped into the book, but I was right to do so. And again, you can find an episode with my spoiler light reactions all about The Ferryman. I really recommend that book. Next up, I read 13 Stories by Jonathan Sims. On the surface, this looks like a short story collection. It's not. It's one complete book, but each chapter is kind of a story unto its own. This was something, again, that Zach had read first. He recommended I check it out. He did it all the way back in 2021. I finally got to it now. So good. Another 5-star read. It's nice to have a son who likes to read and understands his father and recommends good content. This is a bit horror of a supernatural, paranormal persuasion, but it's also a bit of a mystery whodunit, and that blend was fantastic to enjoy. I was thoroughly entertained. Again, you can find an episode on this here with Zach and I both talking about it, first in a spoiler light format, and then we give lots of warnings and go full spoil, just talking about everything we felt like. We so enjoyed the book. From here, I went into a comfort read, a little dive back into apocalyptic literature. Yeah, I know, comfort? I'm weird. But I've decided that if Mark Tufo's name is attached to something, I should check it out. This time, it has led me definitely not in the wrong direction as I'm reading the Bleed trilogy, a sci-fi apocalyptic collaboration of 3 authors, David Moody, Chris Philbrook, and Mark Tufo. I read book 1, Rupture, and then book 2, Rapture. Just one letter different there. Both of these were highly entertaining, and then I moved right into book 3, the wrap-up of the trilogy, The Bleed Armageddon, but I'm not done with that. So that'll show up on next month's review of what I read. But wow, definitely enjoying these. Now, they're not 5-star. They're not deep enough to be 5-star, but they're definitely 4-star reads. Both these first 2 that I finished, nothing wrong with 4-star. That's above average. Some people consider these books YA. I totally don't get that vibe from these books, but the fact that I do consider them a little shallower in themes, in depth, okay, I can see why some people feel YA. But the action of the actual books, that is not YA. The content is more adult in my perspective. I'm definitely enjoying them. If you like apocalyptic literature, no zombies in this, but definitely apocalypse, you might want to check out The Bleed. Okay, all six of the books that I've mentioned so far, again, were audio reads. So that's what I moved through listening to books this past month. And I have one more, the seventh book, being the finish of the trilogy that I mentioned. But again, I'm not done with that yet. But I'm almost done. Next couple days for sure, I will bang out Armageddon. But what else have I read? Well, for physical reads, I finished Searching for Zen, A Tale of Divine Destiny by Albert T. Franklin. This work was 3-star for me. So, not terrible, but not blowing my socks off either. It's just hitting average. That's what a 3 rating truly is. 3 out of 5 stars is average. It was okay. There's nothing wrong with the book. I certainly enjoyed aspects of it, but it's not one that left me going, oh, wow, most amazing thing ever. Yeah, I'm just glad I read it. It was a fun book, and you might like it too. You want to know more? Check out my spoiler light episode on Searching for Zen. But that concludes my May reading conquests. Just 7 books. I did not finish anything in my preferred format, Kindle. Why? Well, I've been a little busy. But the real answer is Malazan. I've spent all month reading more of Toll the Hounds, book 8 of the core Malazan sequence by Stephen Erickson. Book 8 is the biggest book of the 10 books that make up this sequence. It's an incredible book. I am so loving it. But I just don't have enough time to read all of it. So, okay, here's the deal. This is where things don't get fair for other books. I told you in physical, I finished Searching for Zen. Well, I moved right on to a book, Down Below Beyond, a sci-fi book by T.A. Bruno, about 20-some% in. It's amazing. And it's been shelved for the moment because Malazan has consumed my life now. I'm 83% into Toll the Hounds, and this book is freaking off the hook now. Every page, something else is happening that I'm like, "Blah!" I have to read Toll the Hounds. So I will be pushing through, missing some sleep, finishing this book as soon as I can now. I'm sorry, Mr. Bruno. I will finish your book later next month. Toll the Hounds comes first. It's just the way it is now. Erickson has stolen my reading time. It is the top priority. Now you've got my top achievements for May. Some really fun reading. I recommend any of these books that I read. Check them out. I'll put links in the show notes of where you can find the books too. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.